When organizations roll out AI, the conversation often begins with models, tools, and technologies. Yet the real success or failure of implementation usually depends on something less visible: the culture behind the code. Are we laying the wrong foundation or just barking orders and expecting trust to magically appear? Or cultural pillars quietly determine whether AI enhances human potential or erodes it. These aren't just agile principles, they're human principles. And they're essential for any AI initiative to succeed because their teams rally behind the effort instead of resist, undermine, or eventually abandon it. Let's begin with context. When we skip context, we assume shared understanding that may not exist. We risk building solutions that solve the wrong problems or worse, introduce new ones. Context is about scope, purpose, and boundaries. It's not enough to know what the AI will do. We need to understand why we're doing it, for whom, and under what constraints. A good AI prompt teaches us this quickly. If we're vague or inconsistent, we get unpredictable results. If we're clear, we get closer to our goal. The same applies to teams. Context builds alignment, and alignment builds trust. Next is mindfulness. Mindfulness means pausing to consider second and third order effects, not just on workflows, but on relationships, systems, and society. It invites us to ask uncomfortable questions before the consequences are real. Who benefits? Who bears the risk? What might we regret if we don't pause now and to think it through? AI can be astonishingly fast at executing decisions. Mindfulness helps us ensure we're executing the right ones. It protects us from trading short term efficiency for long term harm. Now let's talk about respect. When AI is deployed without respect, it often replaces instead of augment. It dismisses the knowledge of the people doing the work. It reduces rich human roles to narrow tasks, monitored and measured without dignity. Respect means involving people in the design. It means preserving the human value embedded in processes before deciding what to change. And it means recognizing that not every inefficiency is a real problem. Some are the very fabric of meaningful work. Consider what's happening in your local coffee shop. Automation systems are speeding up transactions, optimizing for efficiency. But at what cost? Many of them disregard the small human moments between baristas and customers. Those interactions are labeled as inefficiencies, barriers to faster delivery. And that's the problem. By removing the human connection, we reduce the experience to a cold transactional exchange, one that's easy to replicate and just as easy to replace. That's not resilient, that's brittle. One hiccup in the supply chain, one tech failure, and you've lost not just the coffee, but the entire reason customers kept coming back. Respecting human interaction isn't a luxury, it's a safeguard. And when it's lost, so is the long term viability of the business. Respect doesn't slow us down. It accelerates trust, adoption, and improvement. And that brings us to the fourth pillar: trust. Trust is what allows people to raise concerns without fear. It invites feedback, it tolerates failure because failure is a teacher, not a threat. You can't demand trust, you have to earn it through consistent behavior, transparency, and inclusion. When trust is present, people contribute. When it's missing, they protect themselves. And that's when initiatives stall or quietly fail. These four pillars: context, mindfulness, respect, and trust form the cultural foundation of ethical, effective AI implementation. They're not just virtues, they're practical enablers of better outcomes. And they give us something to measure. The stakeholders understand and agree on the purpose of limits of the AI system. That's context. Have we paused to assess risks and invited multiple viewpoints? That's mindfulness. Are people involved in decisions that affect them? Do they feel seen, not surveilled? That's respect. Are concepts raised early and handled constructively? That only comes with trust. And these four pillars are deeply interrelated. When context is weak, people get confused. When mindfulness is missing, they feel unsafe. When respect is lacking, they disengage. And when trust breaks, they shut down. That's why these pillars must be treated as an integrated structure, not as a checklist. And the payoff? It's not just smoother AI delivery, it's a workplace where innovation becomes sustainable and change is something people participate in, not something done to them. If you've been through an AI rollout or even just a major change effort, ask yourself, were these four pillars present? If not, how did that affect the outcome? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story might help someone else avoid a costly mistake. And if you'd like to learn more about creating psychological safety in AI enhanced workplaces, click one of these. I'll be happy to tell you all about it.